I believe that I've experienced something very similar to what meditation does provide, yet I've experienced it 24/7 almost because of this increased level of anandamide in my system, in my body. What I mean by that is I've had some experiences along the way, and if you've watched the journey, welcome back. Tom Peterson here. Welcome back to part 2 of my final chapter in my journey with CBD. Appreciate you being here for this. I'm going to essentially go over the things that I learned along the way, the things I didn't know about CBD. So this is going to be kind of an enlightening, eye-opening conversation about some of the things that I didn't know or expect when I got into this journey to begin with. If you've watched the journey, I was an absolute train wreck. I was an absolute mess when it began. Couldn't sleep. I was dealing with chronic pain, inflammation. I was having flare-ups on a regular basis with my back and my shoulder. I was on an SSRI, but still dealing with anxiety and depression. So I was looking for better results. I was looking for something. I was incredibly desperate. And so that's what led me to utilizing CBD. But along the way, I didn't expect to learn these other things that I have now learned. And I want to share these things with you because, they've become something that, for me, has been very enlightening. And I want to make sure that I share this with you, just so you can kind of be thinking about things yourself as you're on a journey of your own. So a couple things. First of all, I didn't expect to have these changes in my body related to the chemistry of my body over and above what I already had kind of known with regards to the benefits of CBD. And one thing that is really, really fascinating to me is this endocannabinoid called anandamide. So this is a endocannabinoid that our body produces, and it's one that ultimately CBD helps us to have more of because it inhibits the breakdown of anandamide, much like an SSRI inhibits the breakdown of serotonin. So an SSRI inhibits the breakdown of serotonin, raises or increases the level of serotonin, to make us feel better. And the anandamide, essentially because of the CBD oil, there's less breakdown of that, so the anandamide levels raise. Very interesting to me, before I started this journey, and even early on in the journey, I was eating dark chocolate all the time. I just had this craving for dark chocolate all the time, and I've since learned that dark chocolate has anandamide. I think most chocolate does, but specifically dark chocolate has, from what I've been told and understand, has anandamide in it, and it also helps the body produce more. So I had this craving because perhaps I had this low level of anandamide in my system, and that's why I was trying to boost it. My body was trying to boost it with this dark chocolate craving. Haven't had that craving now, probably for the last 60 days. I imagine that CBD has now stabilized, these levels of anandamide in my body, and so therefore I don't have this craving for dark chocolate anymore. Pretty fascinating. But I've also learned that meditation also helps the body to produce more anandamide. So when we think about the benefits of anandamide and what it does, so it certainly helps us to feel better. It's called the bliss molecule, and that's why. It's the bliss molecule that ultimately a lot of us experience when we have a runner's high. They say that that's an increased level of anandamide. That's why we feel so much better after, when we're running and doing exercising, achieving that high from that. It's an anandamide-related thing going on there. But the other thing is, with regards to meditation, as we know that's a mind-body connection experience. And so I've never done meditation. I'm thinking about doing it because it sounds pretty cool as I continue to learn more about it. But by taking CBD, I believe that I've experienced something very similar to what meditation does provide, yet I've experienced it 24/7 almost because of this increased level of anandamide in my system, in my body. What I mean by that is I've had some experiences along the way, and if you've watched the journey, you'll see that there are a couple instances, one with my teeth grinding in particular, the other with my shoulder, where I was able to have a mind-body connection that I never had before. And I was able to actually gain a much better understanding of what was going on with my body. I had clarity like I've never had before in terms of identifying and understanding what was going on, and I was able to address it. Now, I'll tell you right now, with my teeth grinding,
I can literally, before I go to bed every night, determine whether or not I'm going to be grinding my teeth. So I decide whether or not to use that tooth guard, whatever you call it, during those times. Now that's pretty amazing. I have not experienced an episode since the time in which I started to have this amazing connection whereby I didn't use it and was grinding my teeth. It's like I know before I go to bed how I'm feeling, whether or not it's going to happen. And that was because I woke up in the middle of the night, when I was on this journey, after having gone without it for 3 nights. And on the 4th, I started grinding my teeth. And again, I realized that my body was ultimately using my mouth as a portal to relieve stress and all kinds of anxiety. I mean, it was just literally my body was trying to utilize my mouth to get it out of my system. Again, really phenomenal stuff. Really amazing experiences that I've had along the way with that. So just a couple things to think about, be aware of. I'm going to fill you in more on this stuff later. I'm going to be dedicating more videos to anandamide, be dedicating more videos to obviously these other things related to the endocannabinoid system and what it can do and the changes that can happen and come to play and all of that great stuff. I do want to get into one more thing. The other benefit of this journey, I'm going to show you a couple props here, is pain. Now, with CBD, unlike a pill, it doesn't necessarily mask the pain artificially like a pain pill does, okay? It does it differently, and for me, I experienced it in a very different way, and I'll give you a couple examples. So with my shoulder, I was able to experience that pain and that inflammation in such a fashion where I was able to really be able to pinpoint what was really ultimately causing the problem because I had this clarity that I never had before. I had this problem, this issue, this myofascial pain syndrome problem for years. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know why it was there. I didn't know what was causing it. I didn't know how to treat it, except to just be rubbing my knots out all the time manually, just to have them come back time and time again. It was just a very short-term solution to the problem, and I was essentially just going around in circles with it and never ultimately resolving it. Also, I had a foot problem while I was on the journey that I never had before. I had this pain in the ball of my foot. Couldn't understand why. Well, I think the amazing thing about CBD and the clarity that it has brought, especially with this anandamide, is my body is doing a much, much better job of letting me know when I have pain, where I have it, and why. And so it became very clear to me that this pain in my foot was there for some reason, but instead of popping a pill, which I would normally do, I decided to really think about it and give it some thought and think about what could be the cause of the problem. So I'm going to show you something here. These are my house shoes. Now, travertine, if you're aware of it, is a horrible stone to use as flooring. Don't ever do it. We did. It's really hard on the feet, hard on the knees, hard on the back, you name it. So I had to buy house shoes so I could walk around the house without my feet and my back and my knees and everything else killing me. Well, these are Crocs. They don't make them like they used to. I've super glued these suckers over a dozen times. Why? Because they're old, but I just, for whatever reason, refused to buy a new pair of shoes. So it made me aware of, hey, my man, your foot hurts because you're wearing these old crappy shoes that you've been super gluing together for God knows how long. Get rid of the shoes, buy yourself a new pair, which I did. I haven't had any foot pain since. So again, some things like that I just wasn't paying much attention to, or at least not enough. Another thing, this guy here, this is an ice pack that I used to put behind my back so I could drive comfortably. With my back pain, I couldn't drive without discomfort. So I took this typical flat ice pack, I'd put it in this silly sock. I don't know where this came from. I don't even know what it is. And I would stick this behind my back to drive. Been doing this for a decade, kid you not. I think it was causing other problems along the way. So this leads me into the last thing. What I really learned was to be accountable and take better care of myself. I bought a new mattress. I bought 2 new mattresses because the first one I bought was too soft, and I think it had something to do with my shoulder flare-up, so I got another one that was more firm. Bought a new pillow. I bought some new shoes. Again, if there's things that you can do to help benefit yourself, be more comfortable, and live better, do it. Because CBD can't buy you that new mattress. It certainly can't go and buy you a new chair if the one that you're sitting in each and every day of the week is uncomfortable. And it certainly can't go out and buy you a new pair of shoes.
What we can do for ourselves is make sure that we're doing what we can do to give our bodies the best possible chance and our minds the best possible chance to do well. Exercise, eat right, get plenty of sleep, lower the stress in your life. If you got way too much stress going on in your life, think about what you can do to lessen some of that stress in your life. And let's help each other out as much as we can. I hope that this was beneficial to you. If it was, please subscribe. Got more of this good stuff coming. If this can be a benefit to somebody else, please share it with them. My purpose here is, again, to try and share knowledge and enlightenment, things of that nature, so that I can help others have successful journeys with CBD, much like I have, and that we can all then live better lives and live them longer. Okay, so thanks for being here. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you being here. If this content was of benefit to you and you'd like to see more of it coming your way, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. And of course, if this could be of benefit to somebody you love or care about, please make sure and share it with them. Of course, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, let me know why so I can do a better job moving forward. And lastly, if you are currently taking CBD or considering taking CBD moving forward, again, I'm not a medical professional, so I'm not here to give any sort of medical advice. I'm only here to give you some guidance and some knowledge. Make sure that you have that conversation with your doctor, your psychiatrist, your medical professional before you start to take CBD, especially if you're taking other medications, so they can help guide you along the way. I wish you the best. Good luck to you. I'll see you soon.